in the last week or so. You can take advantage of this. This is another perennial, so this is going to be something that you can enjoy year after year after year. It is going to be shipped to you at the appropriate time for your particular zone, wherever you are in the US. Great ground coverage. These are going to keep blooming as well. Geraniums, I mean, I remember geraniums from when I was growing up, but I lived next door to my grandparents, and my grandfather was a real avid gardener. He always had an amazing garden, and he actually worked on the garden at my house as well, because my parents were not big. They're actually now really into gardening. Now they're kind of retired.
And those are probably the annual geraniums, weren't they?
I would think so, yeah.
That's what most people have.
Yeah.
Are the annual geraniums. These you plant, and they don't get tall. It's almost like a ground cover. Roseanne there, you can see how it goes. It's just about 18 inches tall, and it spreads out. But they're perennial, Anthony.
So perennial
done.
geraniums.
Yeah. It gives you color throughout the season. I mean, lots and lots of color. And the two varieties we picked out are really bright. They're really good growers, low habit. Big time winners. It was a plant of the year in 2008, perennial plant of the year in 2008. Yeah, so they're definitely winners.
Okay, so how does this arrive? I'm guessing this is.
Yeah, you got one right there.
This is what we're gonna.
Yeah,
this is what we're
you
gonna
get
see.
4. Okay, so 4 4-inch pots, and you get 2 of each color.
Okay.
The Roseanne and the Max Free.
Okay.
And the Roseanne is the more bluey purple, and the Max Free is the hotter pink.
So when I get this, what do I actually do with it?
Well, great. What you do is you water it as soon as you get it.
Right.
Pull it out of the box.
Okay.
And give it a little drink of water. You can plant these in containers. You can plant them in your flower bed. But I always like to show people how to plant it, but I really want to tell you something. Listen to me. Water the plants before you go out and plant them. Water it in this little pot.
Okay.
Send it on the faucet. Then, let's imagine this is not a pot, that this is outside in the flower bed.
Right.
Okay? I've got Roxanne's little digger here. I love it. So we're going to dig a hole into the flower bed.
Okay.
Before I plant this, water it.
Okay.
This is your garden bed. Fill that hole up with water. Let it drain through. Now, take it out of the pot. Loosen up the roots a little bit on the bottom. Just pull them apart. You're not hurting your plant at all.
Okay.
Put it down into the soil, right up to where, as deep as it was before.
Okay.
Right? Throw that soil right back on in there. What am I going to do now?
Water it.
Water it again. Now, your chance of success have just tripled, because the biggest problem for people is they just water it, they plant it, they water it, they walk away, and it doesn't make it through the next hot week. So this plant that we just planted will look like this in about 6 weeks.
Okay, so it's really going to grow quickly.
Yeah, and then you fertilize them, give them the food that they need. In here, I've got both colors. I like to mix them up.
It works. The colors work so well together with these. You've done a really good job of picking out colors that partner together.
And in the garden, you can see these images coming up. They are spectacular. They grow about 18 inches tall at the most. They'll spread out a couple feet. So one of my buddies, he goes out and he plants on the weekend, takes him all weekend, flats of periwinkles. And he uses them as a ground cover around his front of his house. And I just laugh. It's a lot of work, buddy. I'm going golfing. Finally, I said, you know, you can put a perennial that's a ground cover that blooms just as much as those periwinkles. And he's like, what? Hardy geraniums. Now he goes golfing with me, because this comes back year after year after year. You plant it once, you're done.
I love the idea of having more easy things like that in my garden. Yes, sometimes you do want to go for the annuals. Some things...
To fill in, yeah.
Exactly. And it just gives you that real burst of power and color and flowers. But your perennials, they're going to be the things that you're going to come back to year after year. And you're going to build your garden. Each year, you'll maybe add a couple of extra new plants into there just to kind of build it. And it's just going to keep growing and growing. So with something like this, you're going to have that color. It's going to come back time and time again, nice and easy. But remember, the key with this is water, water, water all the way through.
In the beginning,
in that beginning.
Once it's established, you'll never have to do anything to it. You can feed it once in a while to get more flowers. But it's just when you plant your plants, that's the biggest thing. Water it really good when you plant your plants.
$27.50 is that price. Once again, free shipping and handling.
Colors. Look at that, Roseanne.
M61769 is your item number. It's new in the last week or so. Take advantage. Remember, we'll ship this out to you at the appropriate time. So we've got about another 10 minutes or so left of this hour, and then I'll be handing the reins of power over to the one and only